We didn't want to waste your time with a part 1 and a part 2.
Bro, don't you think we need to be doing the exhaust before it gets dark?
I guess. Alright, so just to give you guys kind of an idea of what we need to do before we add some power to this puppy, we need to make some room because we have some components that need to go right here, and this is all in the way. So we're gonna move all this junk out of the way by way of throwing it in the street. I'm just kidding. No, but we are gonna get rid of this fan shroud, rid of the manual fans, and add a super nice set of electric cooling fans to go along with a beautiful aluminum radiator. So like and subscribe to this kind of content because this is about to get a lot more fun very, very soon. That's not tight, and that's not holding anything. It's so good when people halfway do stuff. And that's not even the same size. I know one thing, the zip ties that are holding this fan shroud on are gonna get cut right now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Hey look, I didn't think I need to cut these. Yeah, don't need that. So, I'm just gonna pull it off. This is not a big winch, but it's gonna work. I like it. Good, Kevin. That was way too easy. Come on off, brother. You guys can't see what I'm doing, so let's get in the engine bay. So good news is, I went ahead and got this fan itself unhooked. Looks like it was holding on by hopes and dreams. Out of my way. Now we're looking really good. Next up, all we need to do now is get the radiator out. Where's my drain pan? Because we're about to make a mess. Ooh, that's flowing perfectly right down into me pan. Oh, we're catching almost all of it. I mean, I'd say 90% is pretty daggone good, you know what I mean? Just gonna knock these loose, get them all open, and get this old radiator out of here. I like the weird engineering we have going on here. Beautiful. All right, nice and crusty. Some of you guys might be wondering, well, Jacob, why didn't you cap off the reservoir and save all the coolant? Well, because the coolant that was in this sucker was not very new. And we also have a whole new reservoir. Whew, you are hanging on for dear life, aren't you, sir? Well, not for long, pal. We're gonna use the old two-plier method. Blake, you're gonna have to do some more editing. Squeeze, twist, pull it, bop it, bop it. Come on. Yep, it was bobbed. Yeah, it makes it really hard to get off. We're gonna be able to just take this out and just right on into the new one. We got the new one. In this beautifully budget built episode, we've got new aluminum radiator with a nice metal CNC cap and electric cooling fan. See the difference? Huge difference. We're gonna have to make some custom brackets, but that's okay. Everything ain't go the way we want it to on building on a budget, you know? Because we buy crap that's on a budget. If we have our radiator installed in the correct position, our brackets are not gonna catch the radiator. If you guys can see here, there's this basically a nice little, I guess we'll call it a ridge here that is perfectly flat, and it's really, really nice to be able to just mount our bracket to. So once the bracket is actually mounted there, the radiator is going to sit down right in it, and then we'll bolt our brackets on and create a standoff to where it can't go anywhere. It looks like we got a pretty round number at 16. We're going to get this thing cut up, and I'll show you that right now. What I want to do is make sure that my 16 inches that I have lands right in the middle of these. Nice. These two to the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, dum-dum, it's this one. We're running out of daylight. And it's gonna sit right there. I want to drop the radiator down in this slot and make sure that it fits. Because it will be big and strong when you drop this down. Hey, that didn't work. Man, what the heck was I doing? I don't know. It works flawlessly. Beautiful. And what I'll do is I'll create a small standoff on each side. That way I got good access to my radiator cap. That's going to be perfect. For it to sit this tight, that's not bad. This aluminum radiator, it did actually have this blocked off with just like a plug. So I still run this line. So I did just purchase some brass fittings. The only problem is my barb here was a 3/8 fitting and they don't make a 1/8 fitting. So I had to go from a 1/8 close to a 1/4 inch and then run a 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch female to a 1/4 inch to 3/8 barb. So this is just going to go right here. There is a huge chance that my turbo is going to be sitting right here. We may wind up having to create an L to keep this from what could happen, which is just absolutely melt that coolant line. Last but not least, what we need to do, just hook up the lower and upper radiator hose, hook up this intake coolant hose here, and we are good to go. Okay guys, you're gonna really like this one. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. After I finished all that, I looked down and guess what? There's a perfect little fitting right here that we could have used. So I'm gonna plug this all back up and this is gonna look so much better. Upper radiator hose mounted, intake coolant hose mounted, lower radiator hose, we're about to just tighten up the fitting now. We're gonna probably have to get a new one because that doesn't actually fit on there. All we have to do is wire up the relay and we're good to go. It's the next day. That's okay though. My camera died last night, so really good stopping point because I was about to wire up my relay. I realized before I start cutting and snipping and making wires and splicing them in different places, I'd like to know exactly how much wire I need so that I can run it, because we're about to start putting some fun stuff on here. Can you envision it? Like right here? Maybe it sits here. I don't know. It's gonna be close. We're gonna go ahead and get started on that now. Okay. So, first things first, we need to make sure we have just enough room behind this big bad grill. Let me see your grill. We're gonna make sure we got enough room for an intercooler to fit behind here. That wasn't holding anything. It looked cute though. That's definitely not. No, it's still actively not holding anything. Perfect. Perfect. Pop this zip tie loose. Nice. How you doing over here, darling? Let's see if we can figure it out. Oh. Hey, just set it down there. I'm gonna have to cut, I think, part of the radiator support out to make this intercooler fit. Just for now. Get an idea where this intercooler is gonna fit. Just as a test fit. Comment right now, do we have room, yes or no? Oh yeah. We found a way to mount it up right there. It's beautiful. All right, so now that we know that our intercooler is going to fit in the selected spot we have for it, I'm gonna get this thing actually tucked down below, and there's a perfect little hole right here behind the bumper. My idea is that I'm gonna be able to mount the transcooler in between the frame here and right behind the bumper facing downwards. All right, just got that down there. Beautiful. Come on down, sweetheart. Come on down. Get out of the way. Now that you can see, I'm gonna have to probably shorten up these lines to make it look better and find a way to mount it. I'll probably have to cut these brackets down a little bit, but as long as we're mounted under here nice and secure, plenty of cold air can travel under here, get to the transcooler, keep my trans cool, and I'm happy with it. All right, so I'm hoping my grill will still fit. Sun beating on me back. Oh, I like it. That's how you use a bigger drill bit right there, boy. Still not big enough. Ooh, yeah, we were so close. Not quite perfect, but that's okay. Biggest thing I want to note here is that this is only the upper radiator support that's holding this intercooler in place now. So I'll still probably create a bracket for the bottom, but that's pretty daggum sturdy. I like it. Right. Gonna remove this intake air temperature sensor. We're removing the whole intake because we need to make some holes for our intercooler pipe to go through. One side's down. Just gonna clean up that with a nice little file and start on the other side. Hey, watch this. Hey, I see you. Gonna get this coupler off and test fit the passenger side of this intercooler piping so that we can get a good idea of how much of this pipe we need to modify. Somebody use their pliers or something and just this is coming through, I'm gonna say probably to about here. Again, this is brilliant. Don't know who did it, but they didn't use the correct tools and it still looks amazing. Got the job done. Yeah, that still should give us plenty of room to get back to the throttle body. This thing. All right, just so I wanted to show real quick, I rotated these clamps up because I'm already seeing that we're gonna have a little bit of clearance issue with our grill. Hopefully, once this pipe is in here and takes a hard right, we should be clear of that pipe there with the grill. I did notice with the grill already that it technically holds the grill here, one in the center, and then two on each side. The center one, the actual radiator support comes out far enough to where I can leave that one, but I think I'm gonna have to chop these two off just to modify and make it fit really nice and smooth. But other than that, it looks like this thing's gonna go in pretty easily, so I'm very, very happy. So, good news, there is already a bung here for the IAT, intake air temperature sensor. It just helps with tuning. I am gonna be running this off of a 2-bar map sensor, which will go in right here. That's only a single bar or 1-bar map sensor, so since it's gonna be boosted, we're gonna need a 2-bar. May have to shorten this pipe, may not even use this pipe because I'm looking at where we're at. I think the other one's gonna come in and be able to turn very, very easy. So we may just be using this coupler right here to be able to turn it right out into our other pipe that comes through. So I think we're gonna wind up really, really good without having to cut another pipe. I did not touch on this at the beginning of the video, but I would like to reiterate, this is a used kit, but it did come off of a 4.8 liter, so it will fit. It was on an OBS truck instead of a square body, so that's the reason why there is a little bit of modifications that we're having to do. This is not a direct fit for my square body, but we have plenty more room anyways. Got that nice and neat. Gonna pop this coupler off and see with this elbow. I don't think we're gonna have enough room. We were gonna be super close, dude. Oh my gosh. We might can make something work. We'll see. Diamonds off. Cut. Be really nice to have a lift right now because we're about to go back to our short jack strokes again. Yeah. Short jack strokes. We're pretty high on one side. I guess I'm going on the action. Alright, dude. Whatever.
The height achieved with these jack stands should be studied.
Shut up. I'm telling you what, buddy. This time when I lift it up, we're gonna be able to walk under it. How high we going, Jacob? As high as our little stands will let us. Come on now. Go up one more. One more. One more. This sucks. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 3 more. Oh God. That's good. Oh, how's that the end? Yeah. I should go ahead and put the other jack stand under the other side, shouldn't I? Cut! Get to the exhaust now, so that's good. Oh my gosh. I need a shot. Man, this looks really clean so far. I mean, we haven't done much, but we've done a lot actually in the same sentence. So, I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt the exhaust from the headers and see if we can fish the exhaust down without having to cut any of it. If we have to cut it, then this job just gets a little bit longer. Whee! Well, I'm definitely gonna have to cut it. I knew it was gonna be this way, or I thought it was gonna be this way, and now it is this way, and now I'm upset. I'm so mad, sad too, because I'm upset. Square protection engaged. Now we glue it. My blade is a little bit crooked, but that's okay. That's okay. My sawzall's dead, that's why I'm doing this. Just cut the last little bit off, please. When you are strong, you can get it off really easily. Beautiful. We tighten and then we loosen. Give a little tidy. Can I come over there and flip it? Now that we got our, I guess we'll call them mid pipes off, we're gonna go ahead and knock off these headers so that we can start mounting our turbo manifold. On the passenger side is an actual turbo manifold. The driver side actually just uses a stock exhaust manifold off of a 5.3. We're gonna get these headers off and go ahead and bolt up the turbo manifold with the turbo and the exhaust manifold. Good news is I'm going to be able to reuse my exhaust manifold for my turbo manifold. I'm so excited. Beautiful. Let's get that out of there. Come here, beautiful. Come on. Ow. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Big, juicy turbo. See if you can pull it to you a little bit. From here, I need to be down here. We're way off. All right, so let's talk. Honestly, if you really want to look at things, I didn't really want there to be a part 1 and a part 2, but when you're waiting on parts, it really makes things hard when they don't show up on time like they're supposed to. But let me explain to you guys really, really quickly why these parts matter so much. I'm gonna show you what we were working with and now what we got to work with, if you're following along right here, right now. Okay, so this turbo manifold obviously has some really shoddy welds on it. That's one thing to note. But number 2, if you notice, this turbo manifold, the crossover pipe, actually goes on the other side of the runners that come out of the head. So what was happening was, where the engine was sitting down in the cradle, this portion of the crossover pipe that goes down and around the runners that come out of the manifold was hitting on the frame. And it wasn't just hitting on the frame where we could like notch out the frame and make it look nice. No, it was hitting right where the cradle drops in and holds the entire engine in. So obviously it wasn't gonna work if we just kept on beating it, because eventually for it to get down to the size that we needed it in, we were pretty much gonna beat it shut. Or our other option was to cut it and find a new pathway for the crossover pipe to go to, maybe going under the runners, maybe whatever the case may be. But the only problem is that we have very, very limited space to get the exhaust through, the wastegate dump pipe through, and the crossover pipe through, all in the back of the engine. So rather than run the exhaust out the hood or out the side of the fender, I decided it'd be best for us to look for different turbo manifolds. So in lies our biggest issue. I tried multiple different mainline websites to try and find a turbo manifold that was going to fit exactly to our liking. The only issue was that most of them were forward-facing turbo kits. If you wanted a single turbo, it was going to have to fit forward-facing, and then it was going to be a lot more fab work than what we wanted to. So I found this part for $342 on eBay, and check it out. Dude, you see it? You see the difference? Yeah, that's about how much we needed, was right at about 2 inches, give or take, to be able to clear it. And look at this thing. It turned out amazing. It looks amazing. So it sits the turbo exactly where we need it to. We do have some clearance issues with the wastegate, but I'm going to be able to run the dump tube out in a different spot, and I'll show you guys that in the next video. But in order for this thing to work, we had to wait a little bit longer, and they came in and they look so great. So hopefully you guys are super excited, because I definitely am. In the next clip, I'm going to show you guys how well it all fits together, because I've already test fitted it. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. There's no way this can possibly be as efficient as this. And I agree with you. Mainly because if you look at this turbo manifold here, you got these runners that come out of the head, and they go into one singular pipe, where the crossover pipe also has the exhaust from the other side coming into. So I do know, and I am aware, that this design is not going to be the same. You know, now you do have your wastegate here, and the runners come out, and they do kind of merge all together. And yes, in the grand scheme of things, you may not lose that much on efficiency, but I do realize that it's not going to be the exact same. I mean, like I said, the Brown Nugget's not a drag truck. It's just a really, really fun truck, and we want to make more horsepower than like the 100 and maybe 60 or 180 horsepower that it's got right now. Now that you guys can see, looks like we're going to have just a wonderful amount of clearance. I mean, I've got a solid 1/4 inch. We just don't want it resting on it. I'm going to bolt this puppy on here and let it eat. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that started now. All right. Come on. Look at that. Oh, you can't tell me that doesn't look beautiful. Come on. Oh, that's what happens when you have the right stuff. The right stuff, brother. So that's going to be the end of this video. Unfortunately, we did not get anywhere near as far as we wanted to. A lot of that had to do with getting parts. A lot of that had to do with preparing for the turbo build in itself, because, you know, obviously there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just slap a turbo on it and just start boosting and going down the road doing wheelies and burnouts and stuff like that. Going forward, next week's video will be the more of the tidying up the turbo build, but at least we did get to slap that puppy on there and let you look at it, because isn't it just pretty? That's all I've done for like 5 minutes, is just stand here and look at it. Got a verse of scripture for us today. It is coming out of Proverbs 24 and 27. It says, prepare your outside work, make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward build your house. Obviously this does apply to our hearts and our souls, you know, preparing ourselves for multiple things that life's going to throw at us, keeping our heart guarded, and also keeping our hearts and minds ready for the coming of the Lord. But I will say that it does definitely fit with the build. We had to do a lot of preparations to get the truck ready to accept this big old beautiful turbo. It's actually not that big, but I mean, I just like to say big beautiful turbo, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, but we do appreciate all of you guys. All the love and support has been phenomenal. I think we hit over 500 subscribers at today's posting of the video, so I am just stoked. I mean, I never thought it would ever have gotten this big, so thank you guys so much, and we're going to continue to grow. We're believing it, and in Jesus' name. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are ready, because next week's video is going to be crazy. Thanks, guys.